Hello guys, welcome to another live stream. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. It's Tuesday, so today it's going to be previewing how the market opened for the week and everything else in between. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and to comment. Hey Jack, how are you, man? How are you? Today my PC is a little bit slow, so just bear it with me. Second. Yeah, more of the same. Still, price trying to go higher, not managing to break through. I mean the dollar. Euro trying to go down, still kind of being rejected, similar to the gold. My impression is that until we finally break these lows on the dollar. Any trades today? Yeah, in reality I actually lost the trade on the Aussie. It was a little bit yeah, it was really stupid the way I tried to trade it. I managed to not lose it too much, reduce a little bit the risk, but still I was. I missed the trades in the morning, the ones that I actually liked. But yes, looking at the bigger picture, again, until we finally break this low on the dollar index, I think we are going to keep trying. I think we are going to keep trying to go higher, but being rejected on the next supply. So again, we try to go higher one more time, fast move to the upside today, and straight after that, price just finds the next supply level. It looked like price actually had some good momentum to go and finally break through. That didn't manage to happen, and there you go again, retest of the lows one more time. This morning we retested this demand zone on the dollar index, went higher, and there you go. We are still within this range, and I believe that we are only going to finally break through and actually finally move to the upside only after we actually break these lows. Not just these lows, but actually the low also on the left side. I think that's what kind of looking at the charts, what I'm looking for, and what kind of the market is looking, maybe is waiting for as well, right? So this low in here, we discussed that also last Saturday. Somewhere in here, or even retesting of this high, I think can be the level where that can occur, and then we after that maybe can have finally the reversal. Tomorrow, not sure if it's going to be tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow is going to happen, and then on Thursday you have the GDP data, and that can maybe be a catalyst to help price maybe either move away from here or maybe already break the low and start reversing to the upside. 1 week from now, 1st of February, going to have the first FOMC meeting. So as you can see, dollar tried to go and push through. It didn't manage to break through this barrier. So another level of resistance working in there. And this has been basically the main aspect of the FX. We can see it then on euros, well, kind of on gold, pound. It's a little bit something that we predicted. If you remember from the prediction that we did, this one on the dollar, it still remained the same, right? It still remained the possibility of finally breaking, maybe breaking these lows, and maybe retracing, maybe taking these highs or taking that high, and finally retracing again, and then maybe using these left shoulders that are being created, and then finally price can maybe retrace all the way higher to the upside. Let's see if we even break this level or not. Some break above these highs can also mean a little bit more of a move to the upside at this point, and then maybe that you can have that retracement in here. So actually at this point something like this can happen. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, maybe finally breaking these walls. Maybe also the wall on the left side. Price can go higher. Maybe take a little bit this high. Retrace a little bit from here. Now break above it. And then kind of maybe retrace. Maybe have some kind of level in here. The price can go and correct. Pretend like it's holding this above top. Take it and go. So this could be finally price getting maybe closer to that level, breaking completely now all this compression in here that we have, all the way maybe until today's high that we have in there. Of course, somewhere in here there's maybe still some orders that price can use as well. But yes, something like this could occur on the dollar index. Now where this level is going to react from, or is going to be here a little bit more underneath, that's to remain to be seen. Just look left and try to find out where it happens, but at least to break these lows. I think it's something that I will be looking for in here. Yeah, and then that can be also the catalyst to finally have the reversal on the remaining major FX pairs. Yep, sure. Hi KK. Coffee time, eh? You are funny. Alright. Yeah, that's for the dollar index. Literally just waiting to see this one. Until we finally do that, I think it's going to be always the retracement. Even if you see pound going down too strongly, euro and so on, I think price will just resume. The indices. Interesting enough, you guys remember what I mentioned about this level in here. So we have this supply level that was created during the last FOMC. You can actually look at it in the lower time frame. We have a specific spike in there, that one in the middle, and all of them have been now taken, right? Apparently now, so Dow Jones was the first one to react from here. While Nasdaq and the S&P was kind of still lagging, and now all of the three major indices are reacting from exactly the same supply created during the last FOMC meeting back on the 14th of December, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the 14th of December in there. Kind of, as you can see, so if I go to Nasdaq as well, it's reacting exactly from the same level in here, the same one as Dow Jones. However, Dow Jones has already kind of moved away from there. It has already moved all the way to the downside, respected this demand zone, which we didn't engulf. So paying attention to that, but also is reacting from the same supply level. So interesting enough, all of them now reacting from the same level in there, right? So let's see what's going to happen. RDDC is going to continue to go higher. That's a good question, right? You trade levels differently if they are obvious or have a lot of eyes on them. Yeah, with the contrarian kind of mindset that we maybe start having by looking at that liquidity and so on. Sometimes the most obvious ones sometimes is the ones that we don't want to trade, and kind of we overthink on those situations. That's sometimes what may happen. We start overthinking, and sometimes you may skip the obvious ones, and then price just kind of reacts from them quite nicely, and we may not take them. So yeah, it's a good question. What I want to see always is for price to have some kind of liquidity around those levels. I think even mentioned in one of my videos. 1 second, did this work? Why are you not working? Okay, come here. What's going on? No. Wait. What have I done in here? How do I remove this? Mistake. Remove. I shouldn't remove. Yes. Why I cannot select this one? Having an issue here with my tool once again. Second guys. It's my drawing tool. Okay, are you back? Why are you having issues? Okay. Are you working now? Yep, looks like you are working again. Good. This one, go. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. So yeah, when you have a proper supply, I think I mentioned it before, if you have kind of price moving like this and just dropping, I actually don't like to trade this kind of supplies for some reason. That's not my biggest, I'm not the biggest fan, even though this is the most natural one. I actually prefer to see, as I mentioned a few times, I prefer to see kind of price going down, retracing, not really reaching there, kind of creating kind of a fake structure in between, or at least seeing as price was going down in here, kind of price retraces a little bit with the kind of the supply left. So I want to see some highs that can be used as liquidity before finally going there. So that's kind of what I'm be looking for. If not in here, or if not in here, at least on approach, I would like to see something like that, right? At least maybe you have some kind of level like this, we have a supply on approach, maybe you can have kind of a double top being created, so then you can do this and price goes there. So that's a little bit what I always look for. If it's just a straight move down, move back and go, more often than not I'm not going to be trading this, even though it's a proper supply, it's a good level. That's the most basic way to trade it, and most likely that's what everyone's going to be looking for. I can skip those, I can just wait for the other ones. So yes, the indices, there you go, right? So for example, this one, Dow Jones, is actually a good example. We actually have this high that never really got there, and we start having a little bit of structure on approach. We start creating some highs in here. That price never really reached that final destination until finally we even have strong moves down until we finally have the turn. Right? That's a different way to trade it, instead of just going down, going up, touch it and go down, right? There's a lot of movement in between, especially on the compression, on the approach, that can be enough to collect liquidity. So I need this kind of highs just before the final move there. That's kind of my favorite, that I would like to look for. So yes, how the indices reacting from the same supply level. I had mentioned before that on Nasdaq it was maybe the trickiest one, because this high after the supply level price went down, then it spiked there with this week. It actually went a little bit deeper comparing with the other ones, but there was still kind of fresh levels at the extreme, a little bit above it, kind of where price is reacting to. Eventually I could still see Nasdaq continue to go higher, right? We mentioned already in the bigger picture, even when we created this, that we had this level of structure in here, especially on the 4-hour time frame. You can see it even better. We had from those highs created this level, from this high in here we had this double top created in here, and we have this in here, right? So we have the break of this rectangle, the break of this level, which kind of shows a little bit in the future indication where price wants to go next. We talked about that. We talked about this fresh level that was still here. We talked about also this new level now. This was the new level that was in there. We broke above it, and this could have been. So we talked about that when price finally moved away from here, the possibility and the option of maybe Nasdaq going out the way, eventually even taking this high, because this one is already an engulf up, most likely after taking this double top, especially that high as well. And this is the type of engulf that I'm looking for to happen on the Nasdaq, on the dollar at this point. The type of engulf to the upside on the dollar, or this type of engulf on the downside on the gold, for example, or on the euro and whatever. So yeah, so pay attention to that one. Now it doesn't mean that price cannot retrace, cannot go down. The next key level maybe this one in here. Yeah, so now price can do quite a few things in between those levels. Bigger picture, it's something to to keep an eye on in there. So that's for the indices. Strong move up. Again, you have that supply. There's maybe something in here as well, still for the S&P to reacting from this level next. Yeah, so let's see. S&P as well, something that you mentioned last Friday. It was exactly this, or last Saturday, I mean. Price had reached this final destination last Friday. It didn't break through, so there was no engulf to the downside in here. So expecting new highs to be created, right? Since this never happened, expecting eventually new highs from this level to be created with price kind of reaching the next level. So yeah, again, if price respects the levels, if price respects those extremes, there's a high probability that eventually it's going to just continue in the same direction and break the highs where it came from. Yeah, Euro index, it's kind of an interesting one. So if we broke the highs, we broke those level of structure on the left side, and there's a chance to continue to go higher. It's a target that also we mentioned as well last week, that we've been talking about. Initially it was this level, price broke above it, still retested a little bit this level, but there's a chance that price can go and fill maybe this space. There's maybe something in between there that price can still go to, but we took these highs now, right? So we kind of maybe have opened the door. Anytime we kind of open the door like that, price can actually retrace before it goes. Again, another level that is respected in here. Kind of have a little bit of an engulf down in here. We know this is actually the demand zone, but it's an engulf to keep an eye on in the future. And yeah, so let's see what the euro now is going to do in between. The euro index is going to do in between these levels, with the potential to go a little bit higher before maybe the turn. That can also be in alignment with finally when you have the turn on the dollar. So it's another level to keep an eye on euro index. The yen is out this indecision not just even kind of in the market, but caused as well with the Bank of Japan in the moment that they didn't do anything last week regarding the bonds. So still the same cap, still the same easing, continue to buy bonds all the way through, and you can see all this indecision. So price has been now retesting once again, kind of now rejecting these lows. Personally, I think price can even go and take this low and take this low and maybe even still respect this demand zone that may be still fresh. So price could even still react from there and maybe then continue to the upside. Yeah, maybe using a little bit of this low for liquidity. That could be an option in here on the yen pairs. But yeah, for now, a little bit of indecision. There's maybe some opportunities here and there. Actually, it's been one pair that I haven't been paying attention to, since we kind of have this indecision in here. So that's mostly for the indices that I look for. We can take a look at the individual pairs at this point. Yep, mainstream. All right, so let's take a look at them. Yeah, so starting with the euro again. So what did they have on the euro? On the euro, we took those highs on the left side, right? So we managed to fake out all these levels in here, created this movement in here. Price kind of went down a little bit. Yes, I was looking for shorts today on the euro. I wanted the price to go a little bit higher. Price kind of stopped in the middle, kind of created a new low in there. Maybe there's the final level that I was looking for is still in here. At this point, we haven't really broken any lows yet. As I mentioned, kind of there isn't been still a proper breakdown. Let's see when that happens. Nevertheless, where this high reacted to on the left side, that's another question that we need to look for, and it reacted from this level. All right, so it went a little bit closer to the extreme of this high, kind of reacting a little bit from these highs in here that we have. Again, my level that I'm looking for, it's maybe still price, it's still above maybe all these highs in there. These highs from the 6th of April, I'm still looking a little bit for price to go maybe above that. That may be in alignment with maybe the dollar going below the low. So let's see if both of them happen or not. I've any chance you're even going to stay here. It's somewhere in here. above this size. Not exact. Don't really know exactly the level yet. Need to go investigate it in the more time frame. I'm not sure if we did that last Saturday. Maybe we did. But yes, I'm still keeping an eye on price on the euro to go above those highs. In here, there's maybe still a chance for price to go there. In here on the retest of this level. This was the high on Monday. After that we move down again, another strong move down for prices to reject, retracing all the way back in here. Yeah, I'm still looking, actually I was looking for price to go a little bit lower, which can still open space overall for the euro, maybe to still go a little bit down. Yeah, let's see. Kind of it reacted from a little bit this level. Okay, I'm still going to pay attention how price is going to react from there, and eventually if we do final break above those highs and go into the other level, and maybe we can turn. That may be in alignment with the dollar index. So it's another one to pay attention to on the euro, something that I'll be looking for. We are getting quite enough liquidity on the approach without these highs being created in there. We have a strong compression as well, so it's another level too that I'll be looking for this week. Pound is one that actually it did a little bit of what we predicted, right? So if you remember what we were expecting on pound and the prediction I did, it was a little bit like that, right? So what we could see, right? We had these lows, we had this level in here, we had this level in here that was still fresh. I focused initially just on the top of the extreme in here, but of course you have to consider all of it. And price went all the way a little bit deeper and reacted from there. But what did we do before that? I mentioned that I wanted to see these highs being taken, and they were slightly taken on Monday morning in there. Now, price hasn't really reached the level that we talked about last Saturday. That level a little bit above it, so around 1.247 something in there. Price which just took the highs a little bit, which in this case there's still the chance that maybe price can still go higher one more time and even fake out these highs and now break through, right? We just took these lows. At this point it may be one of the first engulfs down that you can see in here, even though it just went all the way down to test this level. This was exactly the prediction that we talked about. It would be kind of price going higher first, go down, take these lows, go higher, take these highs, go down. Come on man, draw it properly. Go higher, go down, take the lows, and then kind of retrace. Okay, forget about the drawing. And then retrace and maybe go somewhere in here to look for the sell. But at this point, the level hasn't been reached yet. So there's maybe a chance for an extra fake out, and then for price to go down. So let's keep an eye on it. Let's see as well if there's any even other opportunity or not on the pound in here to sell it. But yes, I'm still looking for price to maybe go a little bit higher. There's maybe something at the highs. So price kind of reacted really nicely in here today. You can see the approach in here. I even break off this level. Yeah, maybe something close to the highs or not, or if price eventually is going to still take these highs in here and then turn. So something to pay attention to on the pound as well. Yeah, but there you go. The highs in there have been taken. So kind of half of the prediction has been kind of made and it's been completed. Let's see what's the rest. And this is dynamics, right? One thing is if price had broken these highs and then straight away into the level, that would be a different story. At this point, it was literally just taking it. Maybe this actually open space that price wants to go a little bit higher. Price can still maybe fake out the high and then reverse. So that's for the pound in the bigger picture. Aussie, we're going to have CPI data coming out on the Aussie and New Zealand overnight, so can be one to keep an eye on. What we have in here, again, this was the short last week. Price went all the way down. It respected the low. It respected the low in there, so there's not exactly an engulf down, so keep an eye on that. That's a question mark to have in here. Now, the type of approach that we are having, it that we are having in here on the approach to the highs. It looks nice. Price kind of took now this demand zone by breaking this low, so that's done. Price kind of broke a level in there without really reaching the next demand zone, so there's maybe still an opportunity to sell. Price can even maybe at least go here and then make a decision if it wants to go higher or not. Yep, this could have been a good short that happened this morning. My CV sell, it was somewhere in here where I kind of sold it. And yes, this is a target. As I mentioned so many times, be careful with the previous level of support resistance. This was the target. Price then kind of just moved away. I kind of start partial closing as price was going against me, and I realized actually where the low reacted from. So yeah, and that was where actually the extreme a little bit higher. So yeah, there you go. Yep. So price can actually still react quite nicely from here. This is a nice approach. Actually, we already broke this low in here. Maybe there's an opportunity to sell still in that level. Bigger picture, don't forget that we actually took the highs here on the left side. In there, price is reacting from that level, and there's a chance that price can still even go a little bit higher if that's what it wants to do. So what's my concern on the Aussie is that we didn't really break this low. So question mark in there. Now, is there an opportunity to look for a sell maybe all the way here until here? And then maybe price wants to continue to go higher. Maybe there's an opportunity. Be careful if you keep the trades open overnight with the CPI occurring this night on the Aussie. So careful with that in there. Maybe can reach your target really fast, or can just go against you while you are sweeping if you want to keep any trades open overnight. But yes, that's for the Aussie. Looking on the left side, key levels to still look into here if price wants to go higher. Price is reacting from somewhere in here. Right, it was that supply. Maybe price can go a little bit higher, maybe can go above this high, and maybe react from something in here as well. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. There's definitely a chance that price wants to go and continue to go higher instead of just pausing in here. So yeah, keeping an eye on the Aussie can be interesting. On the other hand, New Zealand, which kind of can be a little bit correlated with the Aussie. On New Zealand, there's a little bit of a different story, right? So on New Zealand, we actually this is 1 minute time frame. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So yeah, what we have in here on New Zealand is actually this. On New Zealand, we actually broke the wall. While on the Aussie we didn't. On New Zealand, actually kind of broke the wall, so that kind of opens a little bit mark. We actually broke these walls as well. Even today, we already broke these walls, so maybe there's an opportunity to keep selling in here. I like the approach as well. Maybe there's that opportunity to sell. Price actually reacted from a good zone already in there. This highs in here, so yeah, there's maybe an opportunity to sell in there, and maybe can actually catch out the move again, maybe retesting these lows once again, or even maybe since it's already breakdown, maybe even go further down, closer to this level. Question mark, where is the high reacting to on the left side? So where is it? What is it? It's in here. So price is reacting from here. It's a good level. It's a good supply, as you can see. Nice fresh level. Now, maybe there's a chance that price can even go a little bit above it and can actually go into this level in here. Right? You can see how clean this supply level as well is on the 4-hour time frame. Maybe you can investigate a little bit more in the hour time frame to see what's going on in there. Yeah, so this level in here. So this is the supply where price is reacting right now, the high. Which is valid, it's a really good one, but maybe price even can want to go higher. So if price does that, if price wants to go a little bit higher, that may be the next level to look for. But for now, maybe this can be enough, and maybe can actually have a good opportunity in here to look for. As you can see, this is already an engulf down as well in here. So yeah. There you go. Some maybe good opportunities to look for on this on New Zealand and the Aussie. overnight. And yes, you can kind of get your target, your higher time frame target reached quite fast with the news overnight. So those are two of them that I'll be paying attention to. Yen, the yen pairs, again, quite similar, just retesting the highs in here. There's maybe even something a little bit above it, where the high kind of reacted to. Okay, good level. There's a little bit of a compression in here. Maybe price wants to go again to the downside. There's that scenario, similar to the dollar index. Price can go all the way back, maybe even fake out these lows before the turn. Again, it's a little bit, personally not the clearest one. Until kind of price goes back to those levels, I may just skip it altogether. This yen, maybe something in here can occur, maybe even something higher if price wants to go there. So let's see what's going to happen on the end. I personally haven't paid attention to it in the last few days, just keeping an eye in the bigger picture. Yeah, Euro yen a little bit more of the same, Aussie yen a little bit the same as well, kind of reacting from that level. So Euro yen, Aussie yen is also on this New Zealand. Go ahead. Yeah, maybe there's opportunity here as well on the Aussie yen. Since we're going to have the CPI as well, I should be looking for high, for longs or shorts. At this point we kind of took the high, reacted from this level. So not exactly any engulf down so far. Reacting from here now as well. So yeah, it's another one to keep an eye on. It was a nice reaction from this demand zone. Maybe just actually want to continue to go higher. Yeah, let's see. They should be kind of in alignment in that regard. Any swing trade ideas? Yeah, basically those on New Zealand and Aussie. New Zealand could be, it could be a good setup. We are actually reacting from a good level, maybe on a higher time frame. We can actually originate a good setup all the way here. Like how fast is going to happen, I don't know. It took maybe a week for price to go from this lows all the way there. We are talking about this is basically just 150 pips, it's not that much. But price can even go even farther down, for example, right? Price could go all the way maybe until here. Now, is this the level, or price wants to go a little bit higher? That's a good question. Or price can even eventually fake out his highs. But yeah, that's a good question to have. Swing trading idea. How is EuroCAD? I mentioned about EuroCAD the other day. What is EuroCAD doing? So there you go. EuroCAD. Since we talked, right? Price was somewhere in here. It decided to come on once again to retest its highs. Already broke this low, so this can be another one that can maybe move out the way. So we have this break in here, so price can actually go all the way in there. So let's see what kind of move price does and if it's going to follow through and reach that level. On EuroCAD, that could be also a possibility. Of course, there's still a few barriers along the way. Again, tomorrow we are going to have the Bank of Canada in the afternoon interest rate decision, so that could be again a catalyst in here to look for it. Again, swing trading ideas at this point. I'm still looking for the dollar to break the lows, and after that we may have that situation happening, the big turn happening, right? For how long we'll see, but may turn for a few weeks or even a month, right? The same way that we went all the way back in here from the end of September. Basically 4 months afterwards, we are at these highs. Maybe we can have a retrace that can last 1 month, 1 month and a half, something like that. Can initiate a new cycle. That can be, of course, if not this week, we have FOMC in 1 week afterwards. With those big news, sometimes that's the catalyst that can occur. Or the turn itself can start even before the big news event, and it can actually then during those news events actually gain momentum into that direction. Maybe the higher high is going to be created even before that. Could be also a possibility in there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking for. Yeah, the break of the on the dollar, the break of the low, I think is going to initiate everything else. Gold, again, similar scenario. Similar scenario on the gold, so we have been talking about that. We have been talking about that area, so anytime price goes down, it kind of retests the demand zone. Another time, strong move to the downside, react from there. We even had last Saturday we talked about this specific level in here on gold, actually where price reacted from. Actually, there were two things that we saw last Saturday. Initially, it was the Quasimodo pattern in here, right? We had the break of the low, price was somewhere in here, I believe so. And then it opened, it went respect the Quasimodo and it went to the downside, reached a target, which is kind of the next demand zone. It went all the way back to the upside. We had this level, which was kind of the next one, if you remember. So price initially was reacting from somewhere in here, the previous highs, and now we had this level in there. And price just reacts from it. Maybe next level could be a little bit higher if price decides to create new highs. Again, attempt to go lower, even with momentum or just a little bit more in a different way. It just finds the next demand zone and it just completely gets rejected and it goes higher. With that being said, there's still not an engulf down on gold at this point. Respected, respected, respected. Again, respected in there, respected in there. It's literally taking out every single demand until eventually we can have that turn. Now, is there any orders in here? Maybe there's an opportunity to go and to short still somewhere in there. You can see that this size never really reached that level. It's being respected a little bit in here. This demand now has been taken. Price keeps compressing. Let's see how price behaves in here. And there's a chance to go somewhere in there. There is also the chance for price to even fake out a little bit this level. This guy's in here doesn't look like it took it or it reacted from there. So there's still also that option. Or price maybe go and react from the extreme. But yes, we do have now this level in here. We have this quick move up and down. And maybe there's orders in here to be collected on gold. So keep an eye on that in here. So gold is another one. It's just waiting. It's just taking every single demand along the way. And it just keeps going higher. So yeah. Are you going to reverse to have a good retracement from these levels here on the left? Question mark. Or is price going to go a little bit higher, maybe getting closer to that extreme? That's kind of the question mark to have in here on gold. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, man. And yeah, let's take a look at actually let's before that dollar franc Swiss again. So what we have, right? We finally broke a little bit the highs. We broke a little bit this level in here, which can leave a little bit more room to the upside. Let's see if that happens. I actually like the kind of the moves down that we have today on the euro and so on gold as well, and kind of the attempt to go higher on the dollar. That shows a little bit kind of okay. Buyers are starting to jump into the market, however, and managing kind of to remove. Let's pretend that it will look like a battle, right? At this point, the buyers are starting to appear. Sellers are still in control. Sellers are still managing to hold their fort in the keep moments, but they are getting weaker and weaker. And eventually, the sellers are going to jump into, let's call it unknown territory or bias territory, and maybe the turn is going to finally occur. Maybe the main force of buyers kind of going to jump into it, and the sellers that have been getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and then price can finally turn. You can create that kind of story as well if you want about the price. Yeah, so interesting to see another strong move up, kind of a little bit of a rejection. I'm still kind of liking somewhere in here. There's still the potential for price to maybe take these lows, come somewhere in here before a massive turn. Maybe it's wishful thinking. Let's see if it is or not. Somewhere in there, right? So kind of maybe price can still go. There's still maybe still this demand in here. Yeah, maybe react from there, go there. Hopefully maybe taking something in here and then turning. Let's see if that happens. or not, but it's going to be another one. But I have some alerts in there at those to see when our franc Swiss gets there. Right, and euro now is turning. Right, yeah, when you see one as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to be looking for a 7 here. The price closed the gap. Actually, should be short by now. Yeah, you see, there's literally this gap in here. I've actually been waiting all this time until now the stream that started. Incredible timing. Yep, I think there's a chance literally to look for a sell in here. And the risk reward is there, and there's literally the potential to go all the way until here. Yep. Let's keep an eye on that one. And crypto. What's going on with BTC and Ethereum? So yeah, price went all the way to respect this previous level of supply on the left. A level that was still fresh, as you can see, beautiful level. This size never really got there. So it closed that gap. Finally, let's see how price is going to react from here. There's a chance that price can go still a little bit higher. Where did the lows reacted from? After reacting from there, it just reacted from this clean supply that was in there. Again, this low in here never really got there. So we are within this range now. Let's see which direction price is going to break. First, it's going to be the highs, it's going to be the lows. We'll see which level is going to happen in there. And then Ethereum kind of the same, I believe. No, it's actually different. It's actually moving a little bit more to the downside. It reacted from this the money in here. Yep, it looks like it may want to go a little bit lower. Let's see, somewhere in there, there's maybe the chance that price can still even use that level. I don't think this high kind of reached there, so somewhere in here there's maybe a chance for price to go to yeah, this one already reacted from this one on the left side. We have these spikes in here. The highs has been taken, right? The highs here on the left side. Anytime you take some important highs, there's a chance that you can go a little bit lower. So yeah, Bitcoin at this point is reacting from this level, right? It's reacting from that supply level that was created around the 18 of August, something like that. It already took the highs from September. Ethereum is lagging at this point, comparing with these key levels that you're looking for. Am I correct on that? Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, 10 of August, right? 10, 18, something like that. Yeah, I'm correct on that. Yeah, so yeah, in terms of the zones, looking at that time-wise, yeah. So let's see what Ethereum is going to do. Does it want to go a little bit lower? There's maybe something still in here to be taken care of. The sell opportunity. Yeah, maybe we're testing somewhere in there. Yeah, that's basically it for me today, I think. Off topic, but I wonder if an FX trader has ever avoided going on a holiday because they were bearish on the countries. Nah, I don't think so. That would be hilarious. Yeah, for that, create an edge, right? Buy an option. Go long on that currency that is getting that is increasing value, and go short on the other one. That yeah, trade options with your holidays. That's funny. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe we never know. Yeah, we never know. For sure, many people maybe in America came to Europe to spend summertime holidays during the summer when maybe euro was below parity. That can be a big thing. Yeah, that can help. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Again, holidays, maybe one week, 3 days, 2 weeks, maybe. how it is. Nice one, Jack. That's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still going to try to find an entry there close to the New Zealand and stuff this afternoon. Euro kind of reacting as well from that level. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for everyone that is watching. I think that's almost the top 8 people watching at the same time. At least that's what I can see on the reports on the stats here on YouTube. Thank you very much, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I do 2 streams a week. One on Saturdays, weekly analysis, another one on Tuesdays, which is today. A bit more, I don't know. Any questions that you may have about the markets, I can kind of try to explain. It can be a bit more educational or just overview how the market will open during the week and maybe key levels to look for the week, for the remaining of the week. It's basically it. A little bit shorter, I mean, it's already 46 minutes of the live today. It's a little bit longer during the weekend. If you get value, again, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, Jack. So you just wrote, I wonder if that has an effect. Currencies below value may be attractive for other destinations, which will in turn increase revenue. Yeah, that could be. For sure everyone pays attention to, but yeah, holidays somehow, places to live. Yeah, that's why maybe many people go to Indonesia's and stuff like that to live. It's much cheaper, not just because of the currency itself, just the living costs in there, more affordable. Especially we are now working remote, maybe you could do that. If that's an option, if you're a trader, you could do that. Reduce as much as possible your monthly expenses, so you don't get so stressed in the beginning. Until then, you make enough money to don't really care about that anymore. Yeah, that can be an option. Yeah, so thank you everyone. I'll see you next Saturday. Enjoy your trading, follow your plan, and thank you. See you next time. Obrigado.